Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tips for Life. I'm Ted P.
Guys, I'm Chad Kubo. It's really cold out here. I don't know how I'm getting service. How are you? And I have my pink gloves on too.
I hate this show more and more every week.
Chad, all right, that was worth it. That was worth all the hassle. That made me laugh. That was great.
You have to leave the park on now for the entire episode.
I'm warm.
Where did you get that from? It looks like your dad. Like you put your dad's coat on and run to the car. That's what you look like.
It's Bob.
Look, I got another cough drop thing again. Oh, I'm Joe Surratt, by the way. I'm sorry. I got to introduce myself because Dad was
sorry.
Dog sledding.
Chad, that was great. The sound effects,
Thanks. That was a good one.
that was your best one yet. Especially because prior to the call, we talked about it. Joe was like, "Why do you have dogs sled?" And you were like,
You'll see.
"Dogs." Yeah, well,
You'll see.
You'll see. Oh, that's phenomenal. So, how was your weekend, gentlemen?
Joe?
I'm sorry. I haven't done anything. I'm quarantined again.
You've been in quarantine for like 68 days.
I've been in quarantine since like September. No, 2 of my 3 girls have COVID. They're fine. Had a little headache, a little sore throat, nothing major. They'll be off quarantine and pretty much over it, hopefully in the next day or two. So that's pretty much it. I didn't really do anything. Watched football a little bit. Watched Bills beat up on the Ravens. That was pretty impressive victory.
Watch
Go
that
Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm a Giants fan, but I got to root for a New York State team, especially Buffalo, who hasn't won a playoff or hasn't won a Super Bowl or even been to a Super Bowl in like 50,000 years. So, yeah, I didn't really do much. Nothing at all, really.
I watched a lot of hockey. Logan was in Indiana for a showcase.
Oh, right, I did that too.
He played really well, and the NHL is back this week, so there's a lot of hockey on TV too, which is awesome. And so we had some basketball games. So really, it was a virtual weekend. I watched most of it on TV. I didn't even go. I could have gone to the basketball game, but chose not to. Teddy?
Sure. We had tryouts. We had the final tryouts.
Did you make the team?
I
got cut.
I got cut.
First round cuts?
I cut myself first round.
Yes.
We had tryouts for our 8th grade and our varsity teams, and we've rounded out our roster. Everything is complete. The program's getting ready to roll.
That's cool. Good for you, man. I know that's a lot of work.
Wait till you guys go back to Orange.
It's made weekends busy. It's made weekends very, very busy. I'll tell you that.
Good for you, though.
We sat down last night and go.
So, Teddy, I think you had the utility update, right?
Yes, but I'm going to do it on the back half of the show because I want you to tell us about the UPSCO Expo corrosion event instead.
Oh, I think Chad froze with that weird look on his face.
Oh my! I thought he was just like staring at me.
It looks like he had like a little bit of Bell's palsy or something going on.
I don't know.
I guess I'll talk about it.
Tell us about the UPSCO corrosion.
Yeah, so we if Chad popped back in, I'll let him take back over. But we decided to do another round of Expo. And
I don't know if you want me to do it because my internet is bad.
You don't say. Yeah, that's what happens when you go out dog sledding.
Yeah. You're in the Yukon right now. How are you expecting to have great service?
I guess you don't have great service out there out on the mountain.
I don't.
No, we're doing another show. It's going to be corrosion, solely corrosion based. We got some great presenters. It'll be March 16th, 17th, and 18th. Pretty much the same format. The new website will be updated, and the schedule will be coming out this week. And I'm sure we'll pepper everybody on LinkedIn for the next 2 months with everything about the Corrosion Expo. I just want to give a little shout out to Frank Brampton at Trenton. He's kind of the
driving force.
I wouldn't say driving force, but he's
been a good spearhead.
Yeah, he's just kind of our what's the word I'm looking for? Co-pilot on this, and he's done an excellent job, and we couldn't do this without Frank and Trenton's support. So thank you guys for that, Trenton and Frank and everybody that's been involved. So yeah, we're excited. It should be a good thing. We got a lot of great presenters. Again, this is going to be free. It's going to be based around all education, a lot of basic courses, some advanced courses. But it'll be, again, just an opportunity to share some knowledge and learn a little bit more about corrosion and corrosion-ish products in the natural gas world. So
I'm really excited to attend it. Just to build my, one of the things I haven't got to get into tremendously in my 2.5 years. I've done some corrosion and obviously can rep the product line very well. But as far as building a wealth of knowledge, I'm really, really excited to get into it.
I've been here 10 years and I know how to put on wax tape. That's about my extent of corrosion knowledge. So it'll be pretty cool. There's a lot of neat stuff. I mean, I don't know if there's, Chad, if you wanted to share a couple, I don't know what I did with it.
I think, the majority, the real summary of it is we're going to have some basic classes. In fact, we're going to hold track of about the 3 days in basic classes, your normal basics of cathodic protection, basics corrosion, basics of mathematics and corrosion, those normal ones that you'd see. But we're also going to have some really high level stuff like some of the new PHMSA rulings and how it affects corrosion inspection and some other things about smart pigging and videoing lines for internal corrosion. So just some stuff that's probably way over
data integrity.
Data integrity, just stuff that's way over the 3 of our heads. That's probably it. Teddy, you want me to go into the introduction of who's on this week?
Yes, because you took some of the best notes in the history of.
That's all I do.
And
see, all he does is write notes. You should see his notebook.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But now
you know why? Wait, you know why he does it, right? Like, do you guys know why he does it?
No.
Because he doesn't remember anything. So if he doesn't write it down, his whole day has to be written on a piece of paper. He can't make it through. That's just since the last 5 minutes, right there.
I stole Chad's swag from when he started. When I first went to my first Upsco meeting, and I watched him. He must have cracked a new notebook there, and he dated when he did it.
Yeah, in the end.
So I started doing that.
Yeah, but his are that's like one a week. That's why he dates them.
That's the crazy.
It's like, can we move on?
It's like eat.
I've also moved on to an iPad.
Take a shower.
Notebooks anymore, guys. Just in case anybody was wondering.
I'm just trying to save trees at this point.
It's fine.
All right, who we got coming on, Coach?
Nobody. I don't want to do it anymore.
It's on you, because I didn't.
This week we have Claude Transue from Tri-Pacific. Claude's been in the industry since 1970, which is 51 years, which is pretty wild. The first company he worked for, he's going to talk a little bit about this, but I figured I'd pump the tires a little bit. The first company he worked for was Carotest, and that was in 1970. When just a regular, he was just a sales territory guy at that point, but he worked his way through up. Wow, that didn't sound good.
He threw up.
He worked his way through and essentially became the director of sales and marketing, and that led him into creating Tri-Pacific. But man, what a great guy! What a wealth of knowledge. Just get
him on.
Let's have him on. Yeah, Teddy, to you.
So, without further ado, our good friend Claude. Hello, Claude, and thank you for joining us on Connections for Life.
Glad to be here.
Hey, Claude, how are you?
Good to see you, Claude.
Excellent.
Cool. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of launch into it. We've already told everybody who you are in our intro call, so we'll skip the formalities and go right to the first question. Just how'd you get your start in the gas industry, and how did it all begin?
Well, I graduated as a structural engineer from the University of Wisconsin, and worked a couple of years as a design engineer for Milwaukee County Expressway Commission. And a buddy of mine I went to school with worked for Wisconsin Gas, and he was in their research department, and he wanted to get into sales, and they wouldn't let him, so he left Wisconsin Gas and went to work for a valve company called Carotest. About a year later, I was looking to make a change, wasn't happy working for the government, and he took me into interviewing with Carotest, a valve company that sold to the natural gas industry. That was in September of 1970, and I've been in the industry the past 51 years.
I think Carotest is still around, huh?
Yeah, certainly are.
A little bit. We've heard of them before, for sure. Yeah. Cool. Very neat.
That's pretty wild, and it kind of leads into the next phase, I guess, of your life. I know you went through there, and you were I believe you did a territory, started with a territory in sales, and then you kind of moved your way up and became the national sales manager and then director of sales and marketing, right? Am I correct on that part?
That's correct.
Okay, so then you had a unique opportunity in in 1989. I think was it 1989 that you started TriPack? I kind of answered my own question, but I believe it was 1989 when you started it. But why did you start it? And what drove you to start it, I guess?
Well, me and the president of Carotist at the time didn't see eye to eye on how to run the sales department. And I recall one time he told me after several good years, we had a bad year, and he told me to tell my salesmen they didn't hit their year-end quota, they'd be looking for a job in January. And I told them, I said, we took a long time to build this team of people we have, and I'm not going to do that. And I said, I'm working on trying to get orders, not looking for a new job. So that was the beginning of the end. By June of that year, I was offered the opportunity to start my own rep company anywhere in the country I wanted. And so I took that opportunity and left Carotist.
Why not sunny Southern California too, right? Why not? Not a bad place.
Well, we had rep organizations in some parts of the country, and most of the people running those organizations and their salespeople were friends of mine. So one area that I had a couple of buddies, and they were direct factory, was out on the West Coast. And I asked them if they wanted to have a meeting. We flew up to Alaska, went fishing, and talked about starting our own rep organization. And by August of that year, we had a signed agreement with Carotist, and we're in business.
Jeez, I get to go to Alaska and go fishing for a meeting. I get to do this. Like this, I don't feel like this is fair anymore. It's not been an opportunity I've had. So Claude, you've been in the industry quite a while. You've probably seen a lot of changes. I guess I'd like to always ask this question from the guys that have been around for a long time. What's the biggest difference from how it started to how it is today, or when you started versus today? What would you say the biggest changes in the industry?
Well, a couple of things. One, we were used to dealing with long-time utility people who were typically in their positions for very long periods of time. So it was super strong relationships. You got to know customers for 20, 30 years, and typically they were in the same position or moved not far away from their previous position. In this day and age, the customers come and go. I mean, it's
like a carousel.
Relationships are tougher to build over a 1 or 2 year period than they are over a 10 or 15 year period. So that's one big change.
I like
the other,
that's a good one. That's interesting.
Technology. We were very much a mechanically orientated industry back when I started in 1970, and now the industry is much more technologically advanced with electronics and
mapping,
sophisticated technology, which makes the technical requirements of a salesperson much more advanced than it was back in those days.
So what I'm hearing is that it's much more difficult for salespeople now. So we're actually we're better. We can't form the long relationships. That's what I hear. Just a little tip to us here. Yeah.
I don't think that's.
You have to be more talented back than those old warlords.
Well, I know that I don't have to be as good at golf. I know that. I got that down.
What I'll say is, I think that
entertainment has changed through the years too. Companies now frown on extensive entertainment. Back in the day, customers were taken on hunting trips and all
That's
kinds
all it was,
of,
right?
That's even
What it was.
10, 15 years ago too. I mean, it's completely changed,
We
really.
just missed it.
Yeah.
I got a little of it. I got a little of it.
good
Check out a
rolling
smidgen. Well, I'll tell you that you talked about the technology being one of the biggest changes. I think due to our current situation of our world, technology has changed so rapidly in the last 10 months. I mean, the way that we conducted ourselves for the
interface
we've all been in sales has changed 180 degrees. So I can't imagine the change that it was when you began your career and navigated your way through it. With that said, though, you know, like a crowning jewel for us is kind of one of the proudest things that came out of 2020 for Upsco and myself personally and these guys was Connections for Life. Do you have a crowning achievement in your career at TriPac that you're just, you know, that's the crown jewel, so to speak?
Yeah, well, the crown jewel of our group of products that we represent is it started out being called Mooney Controls and went from there to Dresser to General Electric and now to Baker Hughes, but it consists of the Mooney regulator and the Becker control valve, and it represents $10 million worth of our business, which is roughly a $40 million operation. So they're 25% of our total revenue, and we really made our bones as a company. We took that product line in '89, and sales on the West Coast were like $75,000, and within a few years we built it up to $3 million. And Dick Mooney, the president, said we put them on the map, literally. But we built our reputation around that product, and you know, being a two product line company pretty much with Carotest and Mooney, we've grown the company from 3 people to 18 people, and from, you know, 2 to 3 million to 40 million. And if you look at our website, you'll see we have a broad range of products for the gas industry, both transmission and distribution related, and that gives us a nice buffer when one segment of the gas industry is down, the other one is usually up, and it makes for a nice balance.
That's interesting. One thing I wanted to touch on there, Mooney, I believe, isn't he a very good friend, or was a very good friend of yours, and that's kind of how that relationship started?
Yeah, interesting story there. In 1984 at the Boston AGA, I was walking through the exhibits, and I saw this exhibit, a little single booth by a guy by the name of Dick Mooney, and he showed me his product line, and I said, you know, it's really interesting product. I wish I was had an ability to go out and sell it. And so anyway, a year or two later, a good friend of mine with AFL Company up in Canada, who had been the Grove rep and had lost the line due to some warranty issues with Consumers Gas up there, was looking for a new product line of regulators. And I told him to get a hold of Dick Mooney, and he had a really cool product. And I think, you know, the line, they only had a couple of sizes, but it was going to grow, and he ought to get a hold of them. And he did, and he became the Canadian distributor for Mooney regulators. And so when I was getting ready to start Tri-Pacific on my way west, I stopped in and saw Dick in Salt Lake City and told him we would love to represent his product if it was available. And he said, well, we only have one state open, that's Colorado. the Pacific Northwest may open up in a few months. And I said, we'll take it. And we signed up, and over time we were able to expand our territory to cover the entire West, and grow the sale through leaps and bounds in a very short period of time to get full acceptance of the Mooney product line. And when I say that, we had to pound Fisher to the ground to do it, and we did, and that was quite an accomplishment.
I love that.
Today.
We're bringing the Fisher guy on next week, just so you know. So I'm just kidding. As you know, Claude, our show's connections for life. And one of the reasons that we wanted to get you on the show is that your original connection to our owner, Dan Pajak. And I know that there's a special connection there, and a special connection as to how this all got started for not just you, but also for Dan. Would you mind just running us through how you met Dan and how you guys got to know each other? Tell us a little bit more about that story.
Yeah, well, I had put my regional guy in the Pittsburgh area the assignment to find another salesperson, and that was Joe Miller, and Joe Miller brought in Dan Pajak for an interview. And the only thing I knew about Dan at the time is that his father was a purchasing agent for Equitable Gas. And so I had Joe and Dan come into my office, and we did an initial interview, and I could recognize Dan's people skills immediately. And after 10 minutes, I called Joe out of the conference room and said, we'll finish the interview, but he's our guy. We're going to hire him. So
that's really cool. Did you also tell him that along with that, he had to give you a big order or get a big order from
his dad?
Is that part of the agreement? Relationships, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And Dan, good job for us, and then moved on to a big opportunity with A.Y. McDonald, and he was with them for a number of years, and then the opportunity came up with UPSCO, and the rest is history, and now he's president, right?
But
connections, right? Yeah, but you know what? You have to think of it this way, Claudia. If you hadn't seen or recognized that ability and talent, Dan may have never gotten the opportunity to be in this industry and gotten to where he is. So it's just really unique how it's all intertwined and connected. And I just thought it was really super important to talk about that, and your connection to not just UPSCO, but also to Dan and how you guys know each other and things like that. So I don't know. Do you boys have any other questions for Claude today?
No, unless Claude wanted to, we kind of hit your product lines and kind of what you do. But if you want to talk for another minute or whatever, just about what Tri-Pacific does, kind of your goal, what you're doing now. If not, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll spend a few minutes on that.
Sure.
Well, we're a focused natural gas industry company. When we started the companies, we said we're not going to try to be everything to everybody, and we're going to focus just on natural gas distribution and transmission. And we started out, three of us, me and my two partners, doing just that. And I remember my youngest of the partners, Larry Whitefoot, we had a meeting and we were talking about growing the business, and Larry said, well, I don't know how we're going to do that. All the good lines are taken. And I said, well, we work hard, build a reputation, support our products, support the industry. After a while, we won't have to be looking for new principals. New principals looking for us. And And sure as hell, that's exactly what happened over the years. And
Love it.
and I
You probably still base
remind,
it on that, right? I mean, you're still based on that, I assume, Claude. That's the basis of your business.
and Larry retired a couple of years ago, but all through the years, every year when we did the year-end business review, I would always remind them, well, we did decent this year, even though all the good lines were taken. So
That's funny.
Fantastic.
That's funny. Well, I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. I know we had a little trial and tribulation with video and audio there for a little bit, but it's nice to see you, and I'm glad that you're doing well and that everybody's doing well out there at TriPack. I just want to say hi to all the TriPack guys that I know that are watching this. I miss you guys and can't wait to see you. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. And we're just happy to have you on the show. I know Dan's very fond and was really excited to get you on the show, and from what you mean to not just him, but the industry and all the people that you support. So we just want to say thank you for being a part of this.
well, thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll pass your regards on to our staff. They're all looking forward to seeing you guys again at the different sales meetings once we get to do that again in person. So
yes, sir.
Fingers crossed that happens at least at some point this year for sure.
Yep.
Joining us, Claude. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Claude.
Claude, thank you for joining us. That was a great interview. We truly appreciate you coming on, telling us your stories. Sharing a bit of your life with us. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't get the audio really nailed down, so hopefully it comes through clean and everybody can hear him because it was a little dicey there for a while. So he must have been on the tundra with Chad. But no, I know Claude, you've have a long history in the industry. You've influenced a lot of people, including our president. We talked about that. So just thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time and all that you've done for the industry and continue to do. So keep it up, man. We're hopefully moving forward. I can't wait to see those guys from TriPack again when I get out west, if I ever get out west again.
Ever. So utility update time. This one goes to my backyard here. Corning Natural Gas Holding Corporation, Corning Natural Gas out of Corning, New York, which is about 20 minutes from me, has been acquired by Argo Infrastructure Partners for approximately about $150 million.
Somebody give me $150 million.
Right? Argo? That's more of a propane-based holding company, I think. I mean, it's still based on gas.
Like an infrastructure firm or something like that.
Yeah, it says the partners of it, and the announcement reads very similar. Corning Natural Gas Holding Corporation, the board of directors announced that they've reached an agreement with an affiliate of Argo Infrastructure Partners.
Gotcha.
An independent infrastructure investment manager.
That's good on them.
Good for them. Outstanding common stock. So
that's great, man.
Corning is a phenomenal company for us that we do business with, and I love every aspect of working with them. They're a small enough utility that you can know all the players in the game, and they make life so easy to work with. So I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Not anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, there that went.
That's out the window. No,
right,
good luck. We appreciate it. Mike and his crew down there. Thank you.
Mike, Matt, yeah, all the guys. Jason.
You know what's next?
Gas
bag.
I got another interactive one, I think.
Yes.
This one's interesting to me, and I thought we should talk about it. So finish this sentence for me.
Oh.
The International Energy Agency suggests that unconventional oil and gas could account for as much as blank % of undiscovered global reserves. What's that blank %? How much is undiscovered?
80.
It's got to be in 90%. I mean, and you talked about.
You guys are terrible at this.
But did you use the word? What was the word? Unconventional. So we're talking about fracking or like directional. I don't know.
The International Energy Agency suggests that unconventional oil and gas could account for as much as blank. I almost said it. Of
40%. 40%.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's 50.
400%.
Let's not beat a horse to death. Yeah. So I will have to do a little bit more research on that one. I don't really
50.
know.
I thought it'd be more than that, unfortunately.
So this is the one I thought was interesting. So this country is the largest expected recoverable shale gas resource in the world. Who's number one? Meaning they still have more shale gas in the ground than anybody because it's unexpected recoverable.
Canada.
Expected recoverable. Sorry.
Canada. Russia.
What? What'd you say? Chad?
Hawaii.
Okay, Hawaii is not a country.
Alaska.
No, it's China.
Oh,
Yeah.
China. Guess who's
Buy a
number
lot
two?
of LNG from us too.
China is double the resources of the United States.
Wow.
Guess who's number two?
They haven't even started that either.
Guess who's number two? You'll never guess. Clearly, based on what you guys are.
Venezuela.
Germany.
You're getting closer.
Oh,
Russia. Russia.
Nuremberg. Oh, that's a city. Never mind.
He said Venezuela. I said you're getting closer, and you said Russia.
Oh, I thought you meant Germany getting
I
closer.
thought you meant I was
No, Chad.
Ecuador.
And by the way, Germany's not that close to Russia.
Nicaragua.
Closer than we are.
True, fair point.
Nicaragua.
No, it's actually Argentina.
Oh.
Nicaragua is like this big.
That you said you'd never guess.
You shouldn't guess that
I
one.
never heard of
That's
Nicaragua.
different.
One of my best friends in the world is from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
That's who my son's godfather is. He was born in Nicaragua.
Okay.
Massachusetts.
I
He's
told
a
you already.
genius.
It's Argentina. My goodness, this is off the rails. Can we
Oh,
end
that's
this? What
great.
else we got to talk about?
Nothing.
I actually have one more that I thought was really cool, but
I'm gonna
this is
mute
just a fun one.
Gas packed up.
Every hour on the hour in the evenings, a volcano erupts at the MGM Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. It's fueled by pina colada scented natural gas.
I love that.
What?
I almost
Yeah.
feel like you should have saved that for next week because I could talk
Why?
about
I got
that for
more.
10
I
minutes.
got more. I got this new thing called Google. I can look up as many as I want.
Google?
Yeah,
It'd
G
be
O
so much better if they
O G L E.
changed it from from pina colada. Every day was a different flavor. Margarita.
Like strawberry daiquiri.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
All
know
right,
what the
guys.
bad days would be like whiskey on the rocks. It'd be like the gross day, you know. Have to
Straight
say that
up.
for like a Tuesday afternoon.
Double tequila on that, straight up.
Yeah, just vodka.
Hand sanitizer.
That's pretty cool though.
Vodka.
Pina colada. That'd be cool if we could just send like what we want if leaked in our home, what we'd want it to smell like, you know, instead of like, you know.
Oh, it smells like creme brulee randomly.
Yeah, it's a tiramisu. We must have a gas leak.
Honey, are you cooking bacon again?
Yeah, that's right. Seriously, ham and eggs.
No,
Yeah,
get out
yeah.
now. Get out now.
Anyways, this is degenerated. No one's watching. It's just us talking.
All right, guys. Hey, great episode. We really we encourage you guys to like, subscribe, follow all the new adventures that we're going on in what do you in Justin?
Episode 40, I believe this is.
Ooh.
It is episode 40. I would also like to point out to Chad, because he doesn't know this, that while he was frozen, I can't wait for you to watch it. It literally looks like you have Bell's palsy, like half your face. You're like, look like Popeye. Pretty funny. Anyways, love you, kiddos.
I'm going back. I'm going to go back.
All right, till
Go
next
push your
week.
park
Thank
on.
you guys
Goodbye.
for joining us. We love you.